My dad threw my laptop on my bed at 1 a.m. and said, "Explain this before I call the police myself." I blinked awake, heart already pounding before my eyes adjusted. The screen was open to my brother Caleb's restaurant page, the one he'd poured 3 years of savings into. Dozens of one-star reviews, all posted that night, all from accounts with my old childhood nickname buried in the usernames. One review said the health inspector should shut the place down before someone got food poisoning. Another claimed Caleb spit in orders for customers he didn't like. "I didn't write these," I said, sitting up too fast, my voice cracking. "Dad, I would never." They're time-stamped from tonight, 9 to 11. When you said you were in your room, he wasn't yelling. That was worse. His voice was hollow, like something in him had already decided. Mom stood in the doorway holding her phone, scrolling through screenshots someone had sent her, probably Caleb's wife, who'd apparently been up crying for the last hour watching their restaurant's rating drop from 4.6 to 3.1 in real time. "Caleb thinks it's a competitor," she said quietly, "but the usernames, only family calls you that." I grabbed my laptop. My real accounts were untouched, logged in, normal. But when I checked the browser history, there they were. Tabs I never opened, timestamps from earlier that night, all leading to Yelp and Google reviews under names I didn't recognize but somehow felt familiar, like a signature traced by someone else's hand. "Someone's using my Wi-Fi," I said. "Or my old email. I don't know. I swear on my life I didn't do this." Nobody believed me. Why would they? The evidence was sitting right there, glowing on the screen like a confession I hadn't written. The next few days were unbearable. Caleb stopped answering my texts. My parents drove to his place without me, twice. I heard Dad on the phone with a lawyer friend, asking quietly if malicious online reviews from a known IP counted as harassment and whether Caleb should file something formal. My little sister Priya, 16 and usually glued to my side, started flinching whenever I walked into a room. When I asked her to please just tell them I wasn't capable of this, she looked at the floor and mumbled that she didn't know what I was capable of anymore. That one hurt worse than anything Dad said. By Thursday, Caleb's restaurant had lost 2 catering contracts. A regular customer posted screenshots on a local Facebook group and it spiraled, people speculating that the negative reviews confirmed rumors they'd always heard about the place. Caleb called our mom sobbing, saying he might have to lay off 2 of his part-time cooks if the bookings didn't recover by the weekend. Saturday morning, Dad set up a family meeting at Caleb's apartment. Everyone sat around his cramped kitchen table, Dad and Mom on one side, Caleb across from them looking like he hadn't slept in a week, Priya curled into the corner chair, and me at the end, alone, like I was already convicted. Caleb's wife had brought in a friend who worked in IT, a guy named Danny, to pull the actual account metadata before anyone considered calling the police. He plugged into the router logs and started reading off device names connected to the house Wi-Fi the nights the reviews went up. "There's a laptop, that's yours," he said, glancing at me. "And a tablet. Whose is the tablet?" Silence. I didn't own a tablet. Nobody spoke. "It's been active every night this week, between 9 and 11, Danny said, still scrolling. "Same hours as the review timestamps. It's not new to the network either. This device has been connected for months." Every head turned to Priya at the same moment. Her face had gone pale and rigid, and her eyes were filling up in a way that didn't match the scared, quiet crying she'd been doing all week. This was different. This was caught. "Priya," Mom said slowly, "do you have a tablet nobody knows about?" She broke instantly, the words tumbling out between sobs. "An old tablet she'd hidden in her closet, bought secondhand with birthday money, and the reason spilled out right after it. 2 months ago, I'd told our parents she'd been sneaking out to a boy's apartment after telling everyone she was studying at the library. She got grounded for a month and lost her car privileges for the summer." "You ruined everything for me," she screamed, mascara streaking down her face. "I wanted you to feel what it's like when everyone stops trusting you." Nobody moved. Caleb put his head in his hands. Then Dad stood up, walked the length of the table, and pulled me into a hug so tight I felt his breath shaking against my shoulder. On the drive home, he finally spoke. "The lawyer we called," he said, staring straight ahead. "Turns out we had the wrong child."